Hello friends, welcome to UPSC Logics, and this is part 2 of the role of Gandhi in the Indian history. So there are about 50 questions that I have covered, and these are related to Gandhiji in his latest struggle, which is 1931 to 1944. And this is in a one-liner format, so without wasting any time, let's begin. The Rowlatt Act was also known as the Anarchical and Revolutionary Act. The act was introduced by Sir Sidney Rowlatt. The act meant government had the power to bypass the laws and put stricter measures on the arrest of national leaders. Who was the only member of the Viceroy's Council who was in favor of the Rowlatt Act, and he was an Indian, he was Sankaran Narayar. The act was also known as the Black Act. Gandhiji's non-cooperation movement had the following objectives. Number 1, remedifying the Khilafat wrong. Number 2, nationalist urge for Swaraj. And number 3 was undoing of the Rowlatt Act. The movement was launched in 1920 but implemented in January 1921. The negatives of the non-cooperation movement were boycott of government schools and colleges, courts, elections and foreign goods. Number 2, surrender of all titles and honorary offices and nominated seats. Number 3, refusal to attend government functions. And number 4, refuse to help the British with their war efforts. The positives of the movement were establishment of national schools and colleges, panchayats. Number 2, popularization of use of Swadeshi and Khadi. Number 3, Hindu-Muslim unity. Number 4, removal of untouchability. And number 5, upliftment of women. Where did Gandhiji raise the ambulance service for which he received the Kazare Hind Award? It was in South Africa. Despite widespread resentment and unhappiness, the Congress endorsed the Gandhi-Irwin Pact on March 29, 1931 at its annual session held at Karachi. The concessions given by the government under the Gandhi-Irwin Pact were: number 1, permission to peacefully picket without any violation of law; number 2, permission to make salt for one's own use; number 3, to release all political prisoners except those involved in violence; and number 4, restore the land of the Satyagrahis. The Congress in turn agreed to: number 1, suspend the civil disobedience movement; number 2, participate in the second round table conference; and number 3, not to press into police investigations. Who had made the Deepavali Declaration in 1929? It was Lord Irwin. The first roundtable conference took place in November 1930 to January 1931. The Deepavali Declaration had promised that the British would grant India Dominion status. Who was the President of Congress at the time the Gandhi-Irwin Pact was conceived? Jawaharlal Nehru. Who succeeded Lord Irwin as Viceroy in April 1931? Lord Wellington. Lord Wellington made serious breaches to the Gandhi-Irwin Pact, and therefore Gandhiji requested an audience with the Viceroy along with Prabhu Shankar Patkani, Jawaharlal Nehru and Vallabhbhai Patel. The second settlement was drawn between Gandhi and Wellington on August 28, 1931. Who was the Muslim leader that was supposed to accompany Gandhiji to the second roundtable conference, but the Viceroy did not nominate him? It was M.A. Ansari. Who were the people that accompanied Gandhiji to the second roundtable conference? Sarojini Naidu, Miraben and Mahadev Desai. While in London to attend the second roundtable conference, Gandhiji stayed with Muriel Lester. Who acted as Gandhiji's advisor in the second roundtable conference? It was Madan Mohan Malviya. Who called Gandhiji as a seditious fakir and refused to meet him? It was Winston Churchill. Who were the people that denied Gandhi's claim that he was speaking for whole of India? It was M.A. Jinnah and B.R. Ambedkar. While Gandhiji was in London, Lord Wellington backed out on his second settlement and started oppressing the Indians. The police brutalized people in Northwest Frontier Province, Uttar Pradesh and Bengal. Who were the leaders that were arrested while Gandhiji was still in London? Jawaharlal Nehru and Purushottam Das Tandon. Gandhiji was arrested on January 4, 1932 even before he could relaunch the civil disobedience movement from Bombay. The president of the Indian National Congress was also arrested on the same day, and he was Vallabhbhai Patel, who was the General Secretary of the Congress, who held the view that since the country was exhausted after the repression of 1930, the response to Satyagraha would be poor. It was Sayyid Mahmud. Gandhiji, in retaliation to the brutal repression of the public, wrote a letter to the government in regards to his fast unto death. If the repression wasn't stopped, whom was this letter addressed to? It was addressed to the Secretary of State. The communal awards were declared on August 17, 1932. Who declared the communal awards? It was the British Prime Minister Ramsay MacDonald. Gandhiji commenced a historic fast unto death in the Yerawada jail on September 10, 1932. The draft of the Pune or Yerawada Pact to break Gandhiji's fast was prepared by A.V. Thakkar, and it was signed between Gandhiji and B.R. Ambedkar. How many seats were allotted under the communal award for the depressed class in the provincial legislatures? 71. How many seats were allotted under the Pune Pact? 147. Who considered Gandhiji's approach to be religious and sentimental to a political problem? It was Jawaharlal Nehru. The weekly paper Harijan was started by Gandhiji in 1933. The first issue of the paper was published on 11th February 1933 from Pune. After how many years of existence was the Sabarmati Ashram disbanded? 18. On which day of May 1933 the civil disobedience movement was suspended for 6 weeks, the period to be used for the service of Harijans? It was the 9th May 1933. Who was the president of Indian National Congress when the civil disobedience movement was disbanded in May 1933? M.S. Ane. The civil disobedience movement lasted till May 1934. Gandhiji's famous Harijan upliftment tour started from Wardha. A bomb was thrown on Gandhi on 25th June 1934 at Pune. Gandhiji covered more than 12,500 miles and collected about rupees 8 lakhs for his cause. The tour lasted for 9 months. What was the last stop of this tour? Varanasi. Gandhiji formally left Congress in 1934. So friends, this brings us to the end of part 2 of the role of Gandhi in the Indian national struggle. And after this, Gandhiji did take part in the politics, and he did act as an arbitrator between Indian National Congress and the Muslim League. But he had actually detached himself from the active politics, and nobody was listening to him much. So all those questions will be covered when I come to that particular chapter in my regular videos. So this was about Gandhiji, and thank you so much for watching. And if you are watching it for the first time, do like and subscribe to this channel. If you are a regular subscriber, as I always say, press the bell icon so you get the latest updates from UPSC Logics. Thank you so much for watching, and Jai Hind.